What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'll be going through my team selection for Game Week 1. As you guys know from the last couple of seasons since I've been doing this channel, I do a team selection video once a week. So this is going to be part of the videos and the series what we'll be doing this season. So this is for Game Week 1, my team selection, who I'm looking at the moment and who I've selected. So in terms of the squad for this game week, I'll be looking at different formation. So I've been primarily looking at 5 at the back, so 5-3-2, potentially 5-4-1 if I want to go Neto, Martinelli double up. But those are the kind of like general formations that I've been looking at so far in pre-season. What I've done in the last couple of days is I've looked around other formations. So I've looked at 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 4-5-1 and 4-4-2. Now, one of the formations that's really caught my eye and has had a really good balance to the squad has indeed been the 4-4-2. So let's go through some of the changes that I've made and what my squad at the moment is looking like for Game Week 1. So here we are. Here we have my squad on screen. So let's start from the back. So I've moved away from the premium goalkeeper, which I've generally had is Edison. Now, I've gone to Raya. So for the minutes that Raya played last season, due to injury, he only got around 2,100 minutes. He got around 96 points, which is 30 points less than Sanchez, who played pretty much 1,200 minutes more. Am I expecting a similar return? It would be great if he could, but generally Brentford do have some really favourable fixtures as we start the first couple of game weeks. So at least the first 5-6 games, they are quite favourable. So Raya at the back seems quite comfortable. In terms of the back line, so we've moved away from 5 at the back to 4 at the back. So Trent remains, so I don't really need to discuss too much about Trent because we all know how amazing he is. He's Mr. FPL legend himself. He's a must-have, he's an essential, whatever you want to call it. His output is incredible, and against Fulham, there is no way I'm going to be going in there. Unless, obviously, he gets injured, God forbid, he will be in any of my drafts that I do start. Cancelo, again, for me, is a nailed-on player for Man City. Good attacking returns. Defensively, will get a return. The only thing I don't like about this draft in itself, it kind of limits me to only one Man City player, whereas in my previous drafts I've had at least Edison and Cancelo, so I've had 2. And if I do move across in Game Week 2 to Haaland, I do have a triple up of City, so that's giving me a bit of a cushion. So that's the only thing negative about this draft, is I only have one City player, and I know at some point this season I will want to have more City players. So is it best for me to just start off with more City players and then just wait for it to come, or wait for the wild card and then kind of like build and add in more Man City players? So we'll just have to wait and see. But this is the 4-4-2 draft, which really has indeed kind of caught my attention, and I am really interested in this draft as well. And then Robertson comes in, so no Reece James in this draft. Robertson does come in, so my triple up will be Robertson, Trent and Salah. Again, his returns in terms of FPL for points, it's pretty consistent. A really good price for a £7 million player. Attacking returns as well, got an assist in the Community Shield. Doesn't mind a shot either, as we saw in the Community Shield as well. But generally more of his output comes from his set pieces. So corners, free kicks, or generally just a cross from an attack. Fulham away, a couple of good fixtures in the first 5, so it looks like a really good shout to have Robertson in my squad. Now, the next player that I've kind of thought over or chosen is probably going to surprise you. I've gone for Digne rather than Matty Cash. Yes, Matty Cash last season got higher points, 7 returns, but if we look at Digne himself, he's got seasons where he's got 9 returns, for example, as well for Everton, and he did outscore Matty Cash when he did get regular starts at the end of the season last season. So again, Villa has favourable fixtures to begin with, but they do get difficult from like game week 4 to 5 onwards. So maybe moving away from Digne to someone like a Trippier might be a good idea, or any additional 4.5. There you've got like Dallo. Dunk has some good fixtures as well coming up for Brighton, so we can look around to see where we can get some more kind of better fixtures in itself. I've got Nico Williams on the bench, so a bit of rotation there may not be too bad either. So Digne I've selected rather than Matty Cash. I thought, you know what, low ownership, if he does get off to a good start, can definitely help boost my rank indeed. And now we go over to the midfield, and Salah still remains, obviously, don't really need to talk too much about him. Salah is Mr. FPL himself. There is no way I'm going into the first game week with Salah being owned by about 60% of managers. that I'm not going to select him. And I think he adds balance to any side. Yes, he's £13 million, but you know that he'll give you a return for that investment because the guy is literally just so consistent. And I think he's the best player in the world right now, in my opinion. I know there's other players like, you've got Mbappe, Haaland is tipped as one of the best players, but for me, if I had to look around the world right now, and I'm saying this as a Manchester United fan, I absolutely believe that Salah is an incredible talent, and I think he's the best player in the world at the moment. So there's no way that I can think of having any kind of squads or team selections for game week 1 without having him himself in my squad, and he's definitely going to be captain as well for game week 1. Even in game week 2, I think people are a bit overlooking him against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is not a bad fixture at all, so if I do decide to captain Salah, I won't be too concerned because I think he can get a good return against them as well. I remember a couple of seasons ago he came on the 60th minute, ended up getting 2 goals and an assist and 18 odd points, bonus points and stuff, and I still got 36 points for him. Even though Mane started, I ended up getting more points with Salah than the managers who started with Mane that game. So again, good hopes for him. Now in the midfield, what I've gone for is the £8 million midfielder is Bukayo Saka. So Saka potentially could be on penalties. Took the last penalty in the pre-season friendly. We're still not sure, is it Martinelli, Saka or even Jesus. Jesus' record isn't that phenomenal, even at Man City or club record anyway, so it's probably going to be either Saka or Martinelli, but Saka generally is Mr. Reliable. 20 plus returns last season, gets most minutes in an Arsenal squad, and they've got some really good fixtures. So I've kind of got the best of both worlds, replacing Diaz with Saka, so I've got a bit of balance in that £8 million squad. I could look at Mount as well, but for me, out of them two, I generally believe Saka is the best option, not just to start the season with, but overall across the whole season. I think he'll be a better option to have in your squads. Now moving into the midfield, again we've still got Martinelli in my squad. I'm not going to go into too much detail around why I believe Martinelli is a good pick, because everyone knows it's such a good price at 6 mil, left-sided player for Arsenal, good fixtures, had a good pre-season, and I don't think there's another player around that price bracket. I think even players priced $500,000 more don't even have the kind of form slash ability at the moment that I see that he has. So for example, someone like a 6.5 could be Marcus Rashford. Yes, he's had a good pre-season, he's had a good few previous seasons, but at the moment I'm confident he'll do well at the start of the season. We're just going to have to wait and see with Manchester United fixtures to see where we're going to be going with them. So triple up on Arsenal then, double of them come in the midfield, and then what I've done is I've brought in Neto for this draft at 5.5 mil against Leeds. Now Wolves have some really good fixtures first up, and Neto 5.5 mil, got 13 returns a couple of seasons ago, was injured last season. So there's not much sample for us to go through in terms of last season, but I think for a 5.5 million enabler, regular starts in a Wolves side, and I think Wolves will score more this season in comparison to their last season, which wasn't that great in terms of goal scoring. So a really good kind of another attacking option to have, and again some really good fixtures there for targeting as well. And then I've got Kane up front in terms of my striker, so I've not gone for Haaland, sticking with Kane. Southampton at home. I'm going to go for the tried and trusted that we have in the FPL game. Yes, Haaland's new, everyone wants the new toy in the market, but do you know what? I know if Kane's done it, and he had not such a great season according to many last season. He got nearly 200 points, so if he can improve that by a little bit and get 200 points, definitely worth an investment. Yes, Haaland will come good at some point of the season, but we know Kane's done it on that regular occasion. And there are some rumours about, he's come to Man City because of the ability to be rotated. There might be a bit of an injury that he's carrying. So yeah, I'm a bit confused about how that's going to be looking, but I think Kane is a safe shout to go in. If I do feel that I want Haaland for game week 2, hopefully can get in before the price rise, eh? And then Jesus, don't really need to talk about much about him. Brilliant, in terms of pre-season. He's owned by over 71% of managers at the time of recording this video. I think that could so easily cross 75% by game week 1 deadline, because obviously as you can see there's over 5 million managers now in the game. I think we'll probably be around the 8 million over the next couple of days. I think more managers will join, and I do believe we'll hit the 10 million managers mark at some point this season. But I do believe Jesus is going to be quite focal to any team and their success, and tripling up on Arsenal attack in this one, I do feel comfortable because I know they will score goals from their attacking potential. Now moving on to the bench itself, there's a bit more depth on this bench, which I like. Ward is on the bench, and I know there's a bit of movement around Kasper Schmeichel having to look for a move away, I think, to Nice. There was a bid put in today. So if he is number one, Ward, then at least I've got 2 playing goalkeepers. Even a 4 million playing goalkeeper would be a really good shout, because then I at least have a rotation option, which I'm not too fond of really. But if I do have a fixture that I can target, then Ward might not be a bad fixture to go for, despite Leicester's defensive problems in the last couple of seasons. Then Nico Williams at 4 million, high ownership, about 28% at the time of this recording. So a nice little kind of like player to have there as an enabler. If I do need to move over from Digne or even Neto or in the midfield, I can always change that formation to have maybe a 5-3-2 or maybe even a 5-4-1, for example, sometimes, or 5-2-3. It just depends what I want to play. I do have that flexibility on the midfield in itself. And Andreas Pereira for Fulham, 4.5, so 2 players there that can come in if I need to do targets and fixtures. And then Greenwood, which is a standardary sub that's on pretty much every single draft or team that I have seen on social media and YouTube in itself. So that's what my team looks like, guys. At the moment in a 4-4-2 draft. Am I happy with it? Yes, I'm pretty content, to be fair. There's a lot of balance in there, a lot of strength on the bench as well for targeting any fixtures that I need to. The only downsides for this draft that I feel personally is there's not enough Manchester City in there. One Manchester City at some point this season will come back to bite me. So that's why even if I go Kane and I have still Edison in goal, it still gives me that cushion that I've got some Man City coverage. I just don't feel that I'm comfortable enough having only one Manchester City player, because there will be points, as I said to you, with their fixtures coming up in the first 5 to 6 game weeks, there is going to be a point where I want more. So do I want to take hits then, or do I just want to go back to the 5-3-2 formation where I've got a bit more balance, where I've got 3 Liverpool, 3 Arsenal, 2 City and 1 Spurs? We'll just have to wait and see what I'm feeling and where it goes through. For me, 4-4-2 is a nice balance, but I do want to go a bit different. I like being that different manager. I don't really like following too much template. I do like playing the game on my own accordance, and my aim is this year to get us the highest rank as I possibly can and actually win the game. So let's wait and see. So this is what the draft looks like, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like this draft compared to my previous draft? Do you like 4 at the back? Do you like 5 at the back? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't joined the FPL INKLING family. It's free, guys. Join the family. Hit that button. Help us get to that magical mark of 2K subscribers as soon as possible. And let's have a great season by typing in that code below my camera screen and join the FPL INKLING family. Stay tuned for some more content. This was the first one in terms of the series for team selection this season. There's still 38 more to come. Actually 37. There's 38 in total. But I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a good day. Till then, take care. And hit that notifications icon too to get the latest notifications when I release my content.